What if the fastest way to lose your license is also one of the most beautifully engineered ways to do it? 2.4 seconds. That's how long it takes this car to hit 60. Not a rocket, not a jet. A road-legal Porsche you can drive to the grocery store. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this might be the most complete performance car Porsche has ever built. Welcome back to Auto Insight, the channel where we break down the world's most incredible machines so you know exactly what you're getting before you spend a single dollar. Today, we're diving deep into the 2027 Porsche 911 Turbo S. Now, let's get something straight right away. This isn't just another 911, this is the 911 that Porsche builds when they stop holding back. It's for the person who wants Ferrari-level drama without sacrificing the ability to drive it every single day, in the rain, in traffic, to work on a Tuesday. It's for the enthusiast who's done enough research to know that turbo in Porsche's world doesn't mean turbocharged. It means the top of the mountain. If you've ever wondered what a car feels like when an entire company has spent 60 years refining one shape, one philosophy, one obsession, this is your answer. Let's start with the way it looks, because photos genuinely don't do it justice. Stand in front of this car in person and your eyes are drawn immediately to the front end. Those wide, purposeful air intakes that don't just look aggressive, they're doing real work, feeding air to brakes and radiators that need to shed serious heat. Walk around the side and you'll notice the silhouette hasn't changed dramatically from the 911 your dad might have dreamed about in the 90s. And that's the point. Porsche understands that this shape is sacred, but look closer. The flared rear haunches are wider now, hiding a stance that plants this car to the road like it's grown roots. And then there's that rear wing. It doesn't just sit there for looks. It rises automatically at speed, actively managing downforce so the car stays glued to the pavement when you're pushing it hard. In this white paint, with those black centered wheels, it looks less like a car and more like a piece of moving sculpture that just happens to hit 200 miles an hour. Now open the door and step inside, and the story changes completely, from drama to precision. This cabin doesn't shout at you, it focuses you. The seats hug your body in a way that feels less like sitting in a car and more like being strapped into a cockpit. Everything within reach, the wheel, the shifter, the dash, feels like it was placed there by someone who actually drives these things hard, not just someone designing for a showroom floor. The 10.9-inch touchscreen brings modern navigation and connectivity front and center, but Porsche hasn't buried the analog charm. You'll still find real dials, real switches, things you can operate by feel without taking your eyes off the road. And don't let the performance intentions fool you. This is still a 911, which means usable rear seats in a pinch, a small front trunk for a weekend bag, and enough daily comfort that you could drive this to dinner in the city tonight and to a track day tomorrow morning without missing a beat. And that brings us to the part you've really been waiting for. What happens when you put your foot down? Under that sculpted rear end sits a twin, turbocharged, now hybrid-assisted flat-six engine, and this is where things get genuinely fascinating. Porsche didn't just bolt bigger turbos onto this car, they gave it electrically assisted turbochargers, spun by their own motors instead of waiting for exhaust gases to build boost. What that means for you in the real world is throttle response that feels almost instant, with none of the lag that used to define turbocharged cars. Combined output lands at 701 horsepower, sent through an 8-speed PDK gearbox to all four wheels, and the result is a car that hits 60 in roughly 2.4 seconds and simply doesn't stop pulling until you run out of road or nerve. But here's what separates this from a one-trick dragster: the chassis. Rear-wheel steering tightens the car's turning radius at low speed and adds stability at high speed. Active suspension management reads the road and adjusts in real time. This isn't a car that's only thrilling in a straight line. It's a car that makes you feel like a better driver in every corner you take. Of course, all that performance means real-world fuel economy takes a back seat. This is not the car you buy to save money at the pump. And we'll get honest about running costs in a moment. And while you won't be taking a 911 Turbo S off-roading anytime soon, that all-wheel drive system does mean genuinely confident grip in rain, snow, or less than perfect roads, something you can't say about every supercar in this price range. Now, speed means nothing without control, and Porsche knows that better than most. Every 911 in this lineup comes standard with a full suite of driver assistance technology. Automatic emergency braking that watches for pedestrians and cyclists, not just other cars, lane keep assist, traffic sign recognition, driver awareness monitoring that keeps tabs on you during long highway stretches. Ceramic composite brakes come standard on the Turbo S, instantly recognizable by their yellow calipers, and they don't just stop the car, they stop it consistently, lap after lap, without fading like lesser brakes would. If you want the full package, surround view cameras, lane change assistance, those are available as options, which is honestly the one place Porsche could afford to be a little more generous at this price point. So how does this compare to its closest rivals? Think Mercedes AMG GT, Aston Martin Vantage, even a well-optioned Chevrolet Corvette 06 if you're feeling bold. Here's the honest truth. Several of those cars can match or even beat the 911 Turbo S in a straight-line drag race. But none of them combine everyday usability, that all-weather, all-wheel drive confidence, and genuine daily comfort quite like this car does. The Turbo S isn't trying to be the most extreme number on a spec sheet. It's trying to be the car you could realistically own, drive, and love for a decade, and that's a much harder thing to build. Let's talk money, because at this level, the numbers matter. The 2027 Porsche 911 Turbo S starts at roughly $270,000 for the coupe, climbing toward $284,000 for the cabriolet. And that's before you start checking option boxes, which, let's be honest, you will. Maintenance and ownership costs sit exactly where you'd expect for a car in this class. Premium, specialized, and not for the faint of heart. Ceramic brakes are fantastic on track but expensive to replace. Insurance will be significant. But here's the silver lining. 911s, especially turbo models, hold their value better than almost anything else on the road. Porsche's resale reputation is legendary for a reason, and a well-maintained Turbo S years from now will still command serious money. So let's break it down honestly. On the pro side, blistering, genuinely usable performance, everyday comfort that few rivals can match, all-weather confidence thanks to all-wheel drive, a cabin that balances luxury with real driver focus, and resale value that actually protects your investment. On the con side, the price climbs fast once you start optioning it. Fuel economy is not a priority here. Some safety tech that should be standard is locked behind option packages. And let's be real, this is not a car built for penny pinchers, so who should actually buy this car? If you want a car that can be genuinely thrilling on a Saturday track day and genuinely comfortable on a Monday commute, this is about as close to perfect as it gets. If you're chasing the single fastest quarter-mile time on the internet for bragging rights, there are cars that will beat it for less money. But if you want the whole package, the badge, the engineering pedigree, the daily livability, and a driving experience that rewards you every single time you turn the key, the 911 Turbo S more than earns its price tag. At the end of the day, this isn't just a fast car. It's proof that Porsche still knows how to build something that gets better the more you actually live with it. And that, more than any spec sheet number, is what makes the 911 Turbo S special. If this video helped you understand the 2027 Porsche 911 Turbo S a little better, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment telling me which car you want us to break down next. Until next time, this has been Auto Insight, and we'll see you in the next one.